A few of you guys have asked for an update on the Eibach lowering springs on the Hellcat. So this video is an update on the springs, the lowering springs that are on this Hellcat. So let me get out of the way and show you around the Hellcat to see what it looks like after 2 years. So this Eibach lowering springs were installed April of 2022. So it's been on here 22 for 2 years. Not 22 years, 2 years. And as you can see, I have some custom wheels, and the wheel gap is just fantastic in the front, and in the back it's also quite perfect. So if you look at the side profile, you know, you have a really good tuck in when it comes to this lowering springs. So now, after 2 years of riding in the springs, I've had no problems. I know there's a lot of Hellcat Widebody owners that have had problems in lowering their cars, but I've never had a problem with this lowering springs. These springs the tires were not even aligned after it was installed. The springs were installed because they came out to spec. Basically came out to spec. I do have the bushings for the rear, the alignment bushings for the rear from Eibach, but I did not get it installed because I've had no issues when it comes to the uneven wear of the tires. So that's what it looks like after 2 years. Now, if you're gonna ask me about the ride, it's a little bit stiffer or rougher than the stock. But if you've seen a stock Hellcat Widebody, it has a bigger wheel gap. I believe those springs are a lot more bigger diameter than previous Hellcats, and it has a stiffer suspension for better handling. I think the OEM ones. But as you know, when you want to make your car look good, you want to lower it like this one. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. The only problem I have is, as you can see, I have a really steep inclined driveway. And the only thing that scrapes here in the rear is my exhaust tips. So I have a 5-inch exhaust tip, and this one scrapes a lot. I mean, you can look at down there. I don't know if you can see the scraping. That's about the only thing that is a problem with this lowering springs. And as far as rubbing, I don't really have any rubbing in this lowering springs, even if I'm loaded. And about the only instance you would feel some rubbing is if you're going really high speeds on a big dip. That's about it. But regular driving and the roads here in Illinois is pretty bad. I don't have any rubbing anywhere when it comes to this lowering springs. So the only problem, like I said, is my driveway. You can see one of the scrapes there, right there, is from the tailpipe because my driveway is kind of steep. So that's about the only thing you have to think about. In the front, I'm a little hesitant of putting a splitter here because if you can see, if I put a splitter there, it's really gonna scrape when I go up and back up into this driveway. I really can't drive into the driveway because of how steep the driveway is in this lowering springs. So I don't know what other questions you guys might have when it comes to this lowering springs, but put it down below. I feel like I've covered anything that you might ask with this lowering springs. I vouch for the springs. I always stay with Eibach. Eibach's my Scat Pack has an Eibach lowering spring, and it performed well. I'd had that lowering spring on the Scat Pack for over 4 years. with no issues. So now in the Hellcat, it's been here 2 years, so you should be fine if you're lowering your Hellcat. And if you're using your stock wheels, you can use the 305 stock tires in it. You can even go up to 315 with no rubbing issues. So with this one, it's a 20 by 12 rim on a 335/25 R20 wheels, tires. Oh, let me see. 335/30 CR20 tires, and I don't have any rubbing. I might go down in width of the tires to 325, then I'll go 35 sidewall, but the front is 315/35/20 and no rubbing issues. So 2 years of using this, have no issues, so you can feel confident in installing this in your cars without having any problems. Like I said, I've used Eibachs on my Hellcat, on my Scat Pack, and now in the Hellcat. So hopefully this answers your questions when it comes to update in having this Eibach springs on the Hellcat. Have no issues, like I said, when it comes to fitment, rubbing, or wheel uneven tire wear issues. The only thing is that my driveway, I cannot change my driveway because I have a 5-inch exhaust tip, and that's just something I like my American Road Racing GT Haas exhaust, so it's fine. I can buy another exhaust tip later on. But as far as that is concerned, I don't scrape anywhere else. I don't rub anywhere else. It looks fantastic, as you can see. And yeah, that's about it. So comment below if you have any more questions, and like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye for now.